Hello, Radiant One, and welcome to Spiritual Business with Mariaestela, the show and podcast for soul-driven, heart-based spiritual entrepreneurs and Magdalene's rising, wanting to lead with love in business and life. I am your host, spiritual business coach, mentor, catalyst, and facilitator Mariaestela, and it is my deep honor, my great pleasure, and joy to share this episode with you. If you haven't already, I highly encourage you to join my newsletter to stay connected and updated. You can do so on my website, mariaestela.com, where you can also find previous episodes and their show notes. Before we dive in, I am super excited to announce that the doors have been opened for enrollment to Mastery Through Love. Mastery Through Love is a 6-week online healing journey for spiritual entrepreneurs designed to help you stand out, speak your truth, and share yourself, your services, and products with confidence, care, and satisfaction. It is everything you need to jumpstart the expansion of love in your life and business, dissolving the effects of a fear-based mindset, holding you back, keeping you stuck, and tripping you up. If that tickles your soul, go to mariaestela.com/journey to find out more. Hello, Radiant One, and a very big and a very warm welcome to today's episode about how choosing love changed my business. I am, for some reason, super excited and super thrilled about this episode. This episode is funnily enough I have 7 things that I want to share with you, and actually one of the 7 things is actually apparent in the way that I've shot this or done this video, but I'll get to that when we get there. So these are not in order. So it's not like this is the number one. It's just 7 ways. And I'm sure that there are, many more ways that love has changed my business, because it's basically transformed everything from a space of fear into a space of love. So they're not prioritized, and they're not in order. So they're just 7 ways that I've seen currently, at least, that my business has been transformed by choosing love. And I want to say that in choosing or returning to love, last week I did an episode on the Magdalene Voices where I shared deeper about the returning to love. I also shared another episode on the spiritual business, again, about returning to love. I'm going to link to both of those so that you can dive deeper into that if that's something that calls you. Now, number 1. So one of the ways that choosing love in my business has changed has to do with I call them discovery sessions. It's a session where I invite, if you're someone who's interested in working with me, then you have an opportunity to come in and do a discovery call. But I'm wanting to rephrase that word, because it's not really a discovery call. To me, it is a real session. And in those sessions, it's not a 15-minute call or a 30-minute call. It's actually a full 45-minute session in which we work on whatever you want to bring into the session, and I help support you through that. I know that in the industry, there is a lot of fear, first of all, but there is a lot of, come into a session, I'll tell you what I can do for you, and then give me your credit card, and then, out the door. That's not how I work. The way that I show up in those sessions is whether or not you choose to work with me after. I know that is going to be made clear to us during that session. However, when I do a session, the thing that I do is, like I said, we do a real session. And then at the end of the session, I will let you know if I would love to continue working with you or not. And then I will let you sit with that for a few days, because I believe that in the industry has, in the coaching industry, it's gotten such a bad rep. Give me your credit card and then, you're out the door. I believe that love is not rushed. It's not forceful. It's not pushy or coercing. So I have had clients who sign up with me and don't want to start before in a month or 2 months, and if you look at how the industry, that you're not so quote unquote supposed to do that. You're supposed to have people come in, sign up, start straight away, because that's when they're most motivated and engaged and so forth. But I call bull on that, because I've seen my clients come in. Some know, within the first 15 minutes of our session that they want to work with me. Other people know after having sat with it that they want to work with me. And also there are people who it's not for, and that's totally fine. I trust that, we're being brought together at the right time for the right reasons, and whether or not that is to be working and continually working together, that's where I lean in and where I trust. So that's one of the ways that choosing love for me has changed my business. It's in the way that I onboard, if you could say that, clients. That's also why I believe that I have clients who return to me over and over again. They understand, they can leave and then come back when they find that it's necessary or needed for them again, because we're continually expanding. And at times it's my services that they need, and at times it's other people's services. So that's one way that my sessions, or my business, has completely changed. Again, I call bull on the motivation, got them while they're hot, whatever bull you probably heard. And I get so mad, because it's like, to me, love is, yes, love can be, exciting and thrilling and so forth, but it's never pushy, forcing, or coercing, or, I don't want to take your money, just in a kind of way. That's, to me at least, that's one of the ways that my business has been transformed or changed by me choosing love. The second way that my business has been changed is by the decision not to have fear-based marketing in my material, or on my website, or in my promotion, or anywhere really. If you're not aware of what fear-based marketing is that there are these, I can't remember if it's 7 or 11 psychological triggers that will trigger the human mind into believing, and it is, a lot of that is fear-based. So it's like, you only have 24 hours to sign up, or if you don't get this, then you won't, it's enforcing the pain points of your marketing. Like, are you down? And will you, I rarely look at that. Or rarely, I don't want to say rarely use it, because it's not that I don't. When I tell you that there's 24 hours left to sign up, it's because there is 24 hours left to sign up. It's not to push you or force you or coerce you. It's to inform you so that you may know. And I also know, and I think I include this in most of my material, is also that whether or not this is right for you. I always encourage people to sit with it, to know that whether or not you sign up with if a program, for example, I have Mastery Through Love coming up soon, that may or may not come back, but that's not to say that you should rush and sign up, because I want to invite you to make a love-based decision for yourself. And so in my marketing or my promotion, that's what I try to do my best at. And I kind of by now have like a filter where it's like, whenever I see it in the world, it's like, no, I don't want to do that. One of the best examples I've actually seen is Marianne Williamson, is where I think that she kind of walks a beautiful line in terms of her promotion without using fear-based triggers. And she's kind of the only one. I don't follow her any longer. So it's something that I remember from when I saw her promotions. There is a being of service, which is also part of the changes. But it's a being of, this is, because I trust. The thing is, I trust you. I think you are a smart cookie. I think you've gone through shit. I think you've cleared, you're on you're on your path, and you know whether or not something is right for you. Sure, there's probably people who will tell me, completely different in terms of persuasion and convincing people and so forth. But ultimately, I believe or trust and know that what you know in your heart is true for you is true, and whether or not that is to sign up, I'm not going to enforce that, even if I think that what I have will serve you, and I know that it will. I know that what I have can serve a shit ton of people. Taking away your own ability to decide for yourself by using fear-based marketing is just, it's a no-go for me. So that's another way that my, choosing love has changed my business. Third way that that my business has been changed by choosing love is I don't stress. I refuse to stress. And this can maybe sound really strange, but if I find myself to be stressed or worked up or about something, I drop it. Whether there is a deadline, whether I think I have a deadline, whether it is when I am trying my hardest to make something happen and just wanting to push it through. And once I realize that, I'm like, no, that's not the way I play. I play from a space of love. And I believe that love is the heartbeat of the universe. And when I am in sync, in flow, aligned with that, my messages spread, clients are showing up, people are commenting and liking. That's the place that I have to be. And so I refuse to stress. And I probably shared this before, but I can't begin to count the amount of times where I have chosen to, I've been stressing out, and then I've chosen no, and then I'm going to go work out, and I go work out, and I come back, and the thing that I was stressing about solves itself almost immediately. It's I guess beyond me. It's not beyond, but it is beyond me that happens. And that is what I trust. It's not only what I trust, it's what I know. When I give up my stress, when I refuse to stress, then things clear and things begin to happen, and they happen quote unquote miraculously or magically, and that is, again, it's because my perception has shifted from fear to love, and that's the space of miracles. So the third way that choosing love has changed my business is by choosing not to stress and refusing basically to stress, even if there's a deadline, because things will always work themselves out. So the fourth way is showing up and truly being of service, so that when I come from a space of listening and from being of service and not trying to sell or promote, then I am able to hear and I'm able to be of service to people. I do that in sessions. I do that, when I show up my Instagram or my Facebook or in groups that I'm in. I'm always there to be of service, unless I am promoting something. And I will be very clear. I don't like the sneaky way of putting things in. People are like commenting, and it's like, this is a clear way that you're trying to promote your services. And I'm not condemning that, because truth be told, I've been there. I was there when I was based in fear. And that is how love, choosing love has changed my business, is coming from that space of service and understanding that things, arrive at the right time. There's divine timing in everything. And I've had people come back to me and say, oh, I'm curious because I saw you posting on, or I saw you commenting on this. And it's like, oh, okay. So you don't understand that, being of service is, to me at least, it can be way more powerful than actually directly promoting yourself, or sneakily promoting yourself, because that's icky, and people will feel the ickiness, whether they know it or not, but on an energetic level, they'll know the ickiness. So being of service, showing up, truly being of service, and understanding that I am amazing, beautiful, powerful, no matter what, then, that's a fourth way that my business has changed because of choosing love. Now, the fifth way is the way that I promote myself. In the beginning, I would have, because I do have a very organized, structured brain, a nerdy brain. So I see patterns. I see how things are connected. When you come to me and tell me your vision, I can see the mapping out of it. I can see the steps. But I've also learned and understand that we're not supposed to know every single step of the way. So for example, with Mastery Through Love that I'm promoting right now, I do have an idea of how I would like to promote it, where and when, but I'm also leaning into the energy of it. I'm also leaning into what feels right to me, what feels best, what feels most loving, kind, and caring. So whereas before I would have a strict, and I would be rigid in it, today I'm more flexible in the promotion, and it's about that is about surrendering and trusting that things are working out the way they're supposed to, rather than coming from a fear-based perspective of wanting to control everything. Because as you may know, I am a recovering control freak, like fully on. So that's again another way that love, or choosing love, has changed my business. The sixth way is the recognition and the acknowledgement I give myself on a daily basis for being who I am, for showing up the way that I do. And I'm not gonna lie, at first that was really difficult for me because, you probably know this, there is no one who will tear us down or bring ourselves down as much as we do ourselves. Our internal voices, if you began saying those things out loud, you would never say them to a friend or a child or anyone, because we can be so ruthless with ourselves. And so by me implementing a practice of recognizing and acknowledging myself, in beginning for the tiniest things, because that was all I was able to, but then that expands, because when you choose to focus on the love and you choose to expand that from that space, it expands into all the areas of your life that it is needed, or also your business. So recognizing and acknowledging myself. And I want to say that my clients actually had a huge part of that, because I had clients who would force me to, whenever they would acknowledge me or thank me, I would be like, oh yeah, well that's all you, blah blah blah, and then be like, no, this is you. This I wouldn't have been able to do myself. I wouldn't have seen this myself. This is you. So I'm very fortunate that I had clients who was, quote unquote, forcing me to acknowledge myself, my worth, and what I did and do for them. So that was the sixth way that choosing love has changed my business. The seventh way, which is probably the quote unquote best thing about the whole thing, is the level of satisfaction, the depth of satisfaction, the depth of pleasure and joy, fulfillment that I have in my work and personal life. That's, being able to be of service to the most magnificent, amazing beings is deeply rewarding and satisfying in a way that I never ever dreamt was possible. 20 years ago, more than 25 years ago, I thought I wanted to be the, the CEO, the director, just, people were supposed to do what I told them to, and blah, blah, blah. And in, those years of experience, I learned that being a leader is being of service. Like, it's truly being of service to those that you're here to serve, and to me that is the most satisfying thing. And it's not something that I take for granted. It's something that I am grateful for each and every day. I love my Wednesdays and my Thursdays when I wake up and I know that I have days filled with sessions. I also love shooting these episodes because I hear from you and I know how they serve you. So that is, that's just so deeply nourishing and satisfying. As you may have heard in the intro, I am currently promoting Mastery Through Love, which is my 6-week healing journey. And in those 6 weeks, we basically go through 6 areas in which we expand love to dissolve the fear, so that you may also get to the place of deep, deep, deep satisfaction and nourishment from what you do. And if that is something that calls you, I invite you to check it out. You can go to mariaestela.com/journey. And if it calls you, then, come play with us. We begin on March 1st, and the last sign up is on Wednesday, the 27th of February. If you have a question about that or about anything that I've said in this episode, please either shoot me an email. You can go to mariaestela.com/contact or comment on the post on my website. Show notes will have the link. I love you. Take care. That is what I had for you in today's episode of Spiritual Business with Mariaestela. I hope it served you well. Find all of the deeds and the details by clicking the link in the description. And if you want to support the spreading of this message, share it with a friend or on social media, or leave me a comment or a review. God bless.